Hello, I've got a 2005 Mazda MPV and the check engine light came on at about 70,000 miles, and on a code read it showed a P2187 and a P2189. That is a lean condition at idle in bank 1 and bank 2. Now I googled it and found some information on it. I did not find any videos on it though, so I thought I'd make one. I have already fixed mine, but I thought I'd go ahead and make a video just to hopefully help someone else out when they run into this. Because it is both banks, we know that it has to be something that's in common with both heads, and that could be something like fuel, could be a fuel pump, could be fuel filter. Also could be a vacuum leak, and that is the primary one that I think most people will have. There are ways to check for a vacuum leak. If you'll notice, you have your intake here and goes along here to your you got your mass airflow sensor. Then here is where it goes into your intake manifold. Hopefully I'm getting this on video. Alright, anywhere from in here can leak. These can become hard and cracked, so you want to check that. There's also a piece back here that can, it's hard to see, get a leak, but that's fairly rare. But it is on your intake manifold, so it would affect both banks. The thing that was leaking for mine and most cases will be your problem is way back here, right down here. If I can, yeah, see, this is the hole. You can't see it and you can't get to it. Alright, there's a little black hose right back there. One end is on the back of the intake back here, and the other is down on the side of the engine. Now, that is your PCV hose. The hose sits like this, but it's back where it's hard to find. And I mean, it's really hard to see. In my case, right there is where the crack was, and it's fairly common in this model of MPV and some other Mazdas. It's not that hard to fix, it's just hard to get to and hard to find. And here is the PCV valve, which I also replaced, because if you're going to get down in there, you might as well replace it as well. Alright, a way to check for vacuum leaks, it's common to all cars, all gas cars, diesel, is to take some carburetor spray. I have this left over from years ago, but it still works. And the key is you just spray a little bit anywhere where there might be a vacuum leak, and you don't flood it, just short, that type of thing. Alright, just brief little bursts, and what you're listening for is for it to the engine to rev up. Alright, so obviously I have the engine cover off so that we can see better. What I found with a PCV valve, it's way back here. You have to spray at this angle to get it on the PCV hose. Now the valve would be down here. I hope this shows up. The hose will be like here, and it actually attaches back in the back there. But mine registered when I shot it here. The engine would rev up just a little bit, and you got to listen for it. Your engine should be warm, relatively warm, when you're doing this, so that it'll have a bigger effect. And it's just a slight increase in RPM. So hopefully you'll hear it. In the case of this one, I actually, when you start it, you could hear as soon as it kicked over, a suction, just a really brief suction where it'd pull this in, and but you may or may not have that. It is difficult to get to. What I had to do is, you've got your throttle cable here, had to pull this, unhook it here, had to unhook this as well as pull this out, and then unbolt. This one bolt holds this bracket, pulled all that out of the way, and then basically it's all braille. It's all by feel. You can't hardly see. You gotta squeeze your hands in here, and right here I'm just barely touching the hose, one end of the hose. The other one, you gotta come in from around here, and I'm sure you can't see it, but way down here is the other end, and you will tear your arms up. You will have to do it when it's cold, unless you can handle burning your arms. Again, but that's your PCV valve hose. It's pretty common for the Mazdas, and on the 2005 they actually have an early and late hose. This was made in November, so it had the late hose, and there's a few improvements. Sometimes right here will go bad. It'll break here, which is in the back of the engine, so you got to kind of work your carb spray to try to figure out if that's it or not. Of course, this right here can go bad, so anywhere along there, but that is the common cause of the P2187 and P2189 codes. If you're getting both, then it's very likely your PCV valve hose, and hopefully that'll help somebody out, and thank you for watching.